Today we're happy to welcome Ronny Hermansen, CEO of Genetic Analysis. The company is gearing up for an IPO on the Spotlight stock market, and Ronny will give us a brief overview of the company. Welcome, Ronny. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to introduce you to Genetic Analysis. Genetic Analysis is a pioneer within microbiome diagnostics research. And this market has now really been booming, and pharma is now introducing more and more drugs into this field, and the need for routine diagnostic solutions are becoming more and more imminent. And that's what GA is all about. We will power the microbiome market with routine diagnostics solution. Before we go further, I would like to give you an introduction into this very exciting market by viewing this short animation movie.
What do you know about your gut? Do you, for example, know that it is 40 times larger than the area of the skin, has its own neural network, produces around 20 hormones, has a microbiome with bacteria, fungi, viruses, and other microbes that together has 200 times more genes than the human genome? And that the microbiome is responsible for programming 2/3 of the human immune system? The fact is that our gut and its symbiotic relationship to the microbiome is extremely complex, and we have a long way to go before fully understanding how it works. But the gut holds a lot of potential for improving our health. In recent years, there has been research indicating that an imbalance in our microbiome is closely linked to a number of conditions and diseases like IBS, IBD, obesity, autism, depression, Parkinson's, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, and even cancer. So why aren't we testing it more? Well, until now, there hasn't been an easy standardized way to test our gut microbiome composition, which makes it hard to both assess and compare the results. Genetic Analysis is working to change this, and through extensive gut health research, developed and patented the GA-MAP platform, which is the only routine diagnostics tool for gut microbiome testing. In short, it works like this. The patient uses a sample collection kit. The sample is sent to a lab, where it is analyzed using GA-MAP software. The healthcare specialist then gets a simple functional profile of your gut microbiome health. Genetic Analysis has already successfully launched in EU and in US, and is now aiming to become the world's leading company in gut microbiome testing. We have only started to scratch the surface of our gut's complex workings. A standardized test could accelerate the possibilities to find better treatments for a number of diseases, better prevent gut microbiome imbalance, and help monitor disease progression. What is your gut telling you?
Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this little video, and now I'm going to present Genetic Analysis and the offering we have in this very, very exciting market. GA was founded all the way back in 2008. We are a pioneer in diagnostics research for microbiome, and we have developed the GA-MAP platform, which is a standardized tool for gut microbiome analysis. It's all patented technology, it's backed up by clinical studies, and we have a partnership with global industrial companies like Luminex and Bio-Rad Inc. We have a strong pipeline with new products coming to the market, in addition to the products we already have in the market. And at least we also have to mention that we have a very interesting biobank with more than 7,000 patient samples covering different disease areas like, for example, IBD, IBS, diabetes type 2, Parkinson. And this biobank is very important for the research we are doing together with academia and pharma. So if we look at our product offerings again, as I mentioned, or as you heard in the video, we have developed the GMApp platform, the first standardized diagnostics platform for the microbiome area. And we have two products today on this platform, the GMApp dysbiosis test for IBS and IBD, and we also have a fecal COVID-19 test. So what is the benefit for the society and for the patient by doing the GMApp testing? I would say that right diagnostics is the key to any successful treatment, and this also applies for the microbiome area. So by using the GMApp testing or the test, the specialist will be able to select the appropriate treatment for the patient. For example, today IBS, which is a very severe condition for many people, it's very difficult to choose the right treatment in the right order, so to speak. And the GMApp test will help you to do that. It will help you to follow up the treatment, and thus it will improve the patient life and reduce the treatment costs. And microbiome altering drugs, as I mentioned, is the future, but it's already here. It's coming. Pharma has spent some $5 billion in up to 700 programs of developing so-called microbiome altering drugs. So these drugs will actively change your microbiome composition. Several companies are now in phase 2 and 3, and the market is debating who will be the winner, who will get the FDA approval first. The interesting thing about this is, of course, that by introducing these drugs to the market, then we need diagnostics. Patients need to be selected, they need to be followed up, and that's where GA comes in. We have the first routine diagnostics platform in this field, and we are already in discussion with pharma to look at how can we co-develop new diagnostics for this market. I have often been asked, what is actually our product? What is the offering? And as seen here on the screen, we have a standardized platform from sample collection all the way through to patient reports. So that means that the laboratory will install our platform, they will buy the reagent kit from us, they will run the test, and the advanced software we have will immediately calculate the results and present it in a readable form for the healthcare specialist. It is run today by the Luminex instrument readout platform, which is one of the most common instruments in this field. So what is our unique selling points? It is the first routine diagnostics platform on this market. There are other tools out there, but they are very research based. This is easy to integrate into the lab flow for the lab. And as I mentioned, results are reported imminently and compared to a healthy gut microbiota. It is time and cost efficient for the lab, and it's actually faster, better and cheaper. It's validated, of course, and CE marked. So what is GA's business model? Well, in Oslo, we develop all our proprietary markers, we develop our software, we produce our reagent kits. And when it comes to the offering, we are very traditional in the diagnostic setting. We will seek to sell, place out our platform in the labs. Then we will generate recurring revenues by selling them reagent kits that they use on our platform. In order to fuel the business even further, we have a service lab in Oslo, and that service lab will be able to fuel the smaller customers with testing, like the gastroenterologist down the street, smaller labs that doesn't have enough volume to set up the whole platform, or maybe even as important, academia and pharma clinical research, where they actually use our test actively in running their research projects. It's a very scalable business with high margins. So if we look at the market today, this microbiome market has up to now been very much focused on selling reagents and services to research. But now, as new therapeutics is entering into this market, therapeutics and diagnostics will be the value driver going forward. And you see that it's estimated that this market will reach $1.7 billion in just a few years. It's the US that has the highest annual growth, but Europe and Asia is also coming well along. We in GA segregate this market into 4 clear segments. It's the medical diagnostics field, it's the research diagnostic field, it's the companion diagnostics field, and it's the consumer diagnostics field. On the medical diagnostics field, today, we already have products out in the market. It's about 500,000 tests run annually in the US and EU on a couple of handful laboratories. It's mainly run towards IBS and holistic medicine, and GA will actually then try to let these labs switch their old technology into the GA map so we can take more and more of this market. On the research diagnostics field, we are already in there, and clinical researchers do appreciate the GA map test. It is very, very good in looking at if you want to follow up patients over time, and it gives them instantly results without any further bioinformatic works. On the companion diagnostics field, I did speak about that a little bit earlier. It's where we collaborate with pharma or probiotics companies to develop new markers. Consumer diagnostics, we are not really approaching directly, but we are looking at and discussing with partners that supply diagnostics to this field. And as consumers are getting more and more health conscious, this is a booming market too. And GA can fuel labs that fuel the consumer diagnostics market. If we look at the market and the commercial strategy we have launched in Europe and US so far. And in US, we just appointed a new distributor, Eagle Biosciences. So our idea here is to have smaller distributors covering the different segments of the market. In Europe, it's more fragmented, and Germany, Spain, Italy, and France is kind of the main market so far. Eastern Europe is coming, so here we have smaller distributor covering more the country specific areas. Asia is very interesting. We are in discussions with potential distributors, but so far it's on the discussion plan only. So if we look at our product pipeline today, we have, as I said, launched the GA-map dysbiosis test for IBS and IBD. We have very interesting projects within the IBD on the UC, ulcerative colitis, where we just received a grant from the Norwegian Research Council about close to $2 million. So we're doing a project there together with Swedish academia and Norwegian academia. And it's very important to improve the treatment for these patients. So this is a very exciting project we have. On the diabetes type 2, we have had a pilot project, and we are discussing with potential partners to see how we can move that forward. Other diseases, it's really cancer is flagging up, and also liver diseases, just to say there is a lot of links between the microbiome and these different diseases, and GA is approached regularly from academia and pharma who wants to discuss projects with us. We will of course do this project if we see that they will fuel future revenues. So summary of GA investment opportunity. We have a highly experienced management with experience from pharma diagnostics that has actually built companies before, and we are supported by an experienced board that will help us to fuel the growth of this company. We have a unique position in the global microbiome diagnostics field, and we are backed up by industry leaders. So GA will accelerate the commercial expansion of our current products in US, Europe, and Asia. And we do have a very exciting pipeline of new products for the future. So thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you so much for that presentation. I think it's super interesting, especially with the gut microbiome. There's so much going on in the field right now, so it's super cool. Just to be a little bit more specific, the market is characterized by non-standard and research-based testing. How does this affect the competitive landscape for GA in general, and the potential market value for your platform?
Yes, you are right. The market today is very, what should I say, focused by using research-based tools, non-standardized. And those tools have been extremely important for the development of this market. But GA has the only standardized solution there. And I would say that as this market now grows, it's the only thing that really can make the difference here is standardized diagnostic solutions. And being the first mover, we have that advantage. So our platform will really be a big contributor, value contributor to GA's further success, I would say.
And you also have a strong focus on signing deals with large volume clients in Europe, the US, and China as well. What would you say are the main one-year objectives in terms of contracts, partnerships, launch, and sales, for example?
Yeah, back to what I said. Of course, for us, it's important to take market share of the diagnostics that has been done there in the market already, and that has been done with research-based tools. So this market is very concentrated around maybe 10, 15 bigger laboratories. So to sign up deals with these laboratories, to make them switch from their old platforms to the GMAP platform is very important. And that is one of our milestones, to take more of this, sign those deals. We call them large volume customers. But as important is the development of new markers, and then signing up with pharma companies to develop, co-develop with them new markers that will support their microbiome altering drugs. So both signing deals with pharma and signing up with large volume customers are very important for us.
So large potential there for sure. So just last question. The GA map has been validated and used in more than 50 clinical studies and is supported by approximately 20 peer-reviewed articles. What will it take to reach a broad medical acceptance, in your opinion, from physicians and others alike?
Difficult question in that respect, but we see that medical users today are really happy about the GMAP. Today it's been used mainly in IBS patients, and by actually being able to select the treatment for these patients and see that they're actually responding on the treatment gives this a more, should I call it, medical acceptance. But I think it's first when we have diagnostics that can really pinpoint how should I put it, pinpoint the response to drugs, that we will have more medical acceptance in this. So by having, for example, the good thing about the microbiome testing as we see it today, you can design a profile of your gut, and you can see the link between these profiles and response to therapeutics. And when that is clinically validated, I think that the medical acceptance for this testing is becoming more and more into the market, and of course then you will also have your FDA approvals and so on.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of potential there for sure. So, well, thank you so much again, and yeah, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.